Welcome to the first ever Jack Jones Show with your host, Jack Jones. Thanks for joining me. Joe Biden is the Democratic nominee for the November 5th US election. Biden has 47 years of political experience and was a two-term vice president under the Obama administration. This year, at the ripe old age of 77, he beat 29 other candidates. Strong candidates with strong track records, lifetimes in politics, to the Democratic Party's nomination for president. It's impressive, and the nominee should be. He's the man tasked with taking down that racist, xenophobic, and sexist President Trump and unifying the progressive and moderate parts of the Democratic Party in one of the most important elections in US history. With Joe's record, he must be a devastating debater, an outstanding orator, and have one of the sharpest minds in the world. Enough of the introduction, let's see this genius for ourselves.
And by the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
Look, everybody has a bad day, and it's just one clip. Let's see how Joe can do on the debate stage.
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than in self-defense, and that's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big... No, I really mean it.
We can never stop punching, kicking, powerbombing, five-star frog splashing, and people's elbowing domestic violence against women. This is the next president. This is the guy who the Democrats picked over 29 other candidates. Who's he going to have in charge of domestic issues? The Rock? Stone Cold Steve Austin? But look, his heart's in the right place. Let's give old Joe another chance.
We, the people, we hold these truths, etc. Sounds corny, but it's real. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
We the people, etc. The thing. I wouldn't even want Joe as my history teacher, let alone President of the United States, the most powerful man in the world. And unfortunately, these videos only get worse. Watch.
Take care. If you were a quartermaster, you can sure in hell take care of running a department store thing, where in the second floor of the ladies department or whatever. You know what I mean? Thank you all. Thank you all for listening. Oh. Thanks. Okay. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happens? They make you management. You can't get paid overtime. It's a good question. Number one, I was a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you...
Runs the carts on the... Hey, you a quartermaster? You lying dog-faced pony soldier? Where am I? Spaghetti sauce, mamma mia!
And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelect. We cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump if, in fact, we get engaged in this circular firing squad. There's during World War II, where Roosevelt came up with a thing that was totally different than he called it the World War II. He had the War Production Board. Well, I don't know why we don't set up something like a pandemic production board.
Look, this was funny at the start. Now it's just sad. It's really sad. Joe was once a skilled debater, quick on his feet and had a sharp wit. But mostly, a man with severe cognitive deficits becoming the most powerful man on the planet is dangerous. The guy who doesn't know where he is, can't remember the Constitution, thinks we should never stop punching at domestic violence towards women, and who has hairy legs could be the next president of the United States. Many polls indicate that if the election was held today, Joe would beat Donald Trump. He's currently leading in most battleground states, if you believe the polls. This is while looking more at home in a nursing home than as a president of the United States and most powerful man in the world. Joe was asked directly about his cognitive decline in a recent interview. This is a question that I'm sure he and his campaign would have prepared for. They'd know it's coming. This was Joe's chance to dispel any doubts and hit it out of the ballpark.
Have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump, who brags about his tests and makes your mental state an issue for voters?
Well, if he can't figure out the difference between an elephant and a lion, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Did you watch that? Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. There's going to be plenty of time. And by the way, as I joke with him, you know, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental
Why would I take a test? You on cocaine, junkie? Me have cognitive decline. You on meth, brother? I mean, it's a joke. Keep in mind, Biden's rarely been seen out of softball interviews with softball journalists and pre-approved questions and pre-written answers, and he still stuffs them up. And when he does make a good appearance, he's on the teleprompter. And when he's not on the teleprompter, he loses his train of thought, which is exactly what happens in this next video.
In addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we are. Well, let me go to the second thing. I've spoken enough of that. The president.
Joe's not going to have a teleprompter when he's negotiating with President Xi. He won't have a teleprompter when he's negotiating with Putin and Kim Jong-un. Is he going to tell Kim he has hairy legs and to sit on his lap? Let's be clear. The Democratic Party has never needed a strong and mentally capable candidate more than right now in this election. The stakes for the Democratic Party have never been higher after 4 years of Trump. Unfortunately for them, there's never been a candidate who has shown such severe signs of cognitive decline. The first presidential debates next week. Let's see how Biden can perform without a teleprompter and whether he can show the world whether he's mentally fit to be president. Thanks for joining me.